Hey there, party people. Jim Hart back at you here with another State of the Stimulus for April 17th, 2020. Today I want to talk to you about the stimulus bill that's coming down the pipeline towards the end of the month. I also want to talk to you a little bit about the Payroll Protection Program and just briefly I want to tell you it's run out of money. That's spoiler alert, that's what's going on. As well as the status of unemployment benefits. So first off, the Payroll Protection Program has run out of money. There is talk that they're going to infuse more money into it, although it doesn't appear likely to happen anytime soon. Probably won't happen until the end of April. But for now, the SBA has stopped accepting applications for the Payroll Protection Program. So if you don't have your application in yet, you're probably gonna need to hold off a little bit and see if Congress appropriates more money for that program. With regards to the unemployment insurance, again, nothing much has changed today. And if you want to know more about the status of that, there's a video right up here. I talk about what's going on with unemployment, so check that out. So new legislation has been proposed in the House of Representatives called the Emergency Money for the People Act. This is legislation that will provide a $2,000 cash stimulus payment to every American that meets eligibility rules until the end of the coronavirus pandemic. And by end of the coronavirus pandemic, I basically mean until it returns to pre-COVID-19 levels, until employment returns to pre-COVID-19 levels. And here's the basics about what you need to know about this program. And again, this is just a proposal. This is not law, and I'm going to give my opinions at the end of the video about whether or not I think this is actually ever going to become a law. But before we get to that, I just want to tell you the specifics of the program. So it says that eligible Americans would receive a cash payment of $2,000 per month for at least 6 months. These payments would not count as income, so they would not be taxable on your tax return, and they would not adversely affect anyone's ability to apply for or receive income-based assistance at a federal or state level. Now, here's who would get these cash payments. Every American age 16 or over who earns less than $130,000 per year. If you're a married couple, that number would double to $260,000 per year, and if you're under that level, you would receive $4,000 a month. And if you have children, you will receive an additional $500 per month per child up to 3 children. So if you had 6 children, you'd only get payments for 3. If you didn't earn any income, you'd still be eligible for payments. And unlike the CARES Act that basically did not give cash payments to anyone who was a dependent on a tax return, this one would give payments to every American over the age of 16 that fell within those income caps. All right, let's talk about this for a second and what this actually means and whether or not I think this goes to law. Now, first of all, this is a proposal that has been introduced into the House of Representatives by 2 Democrats. It's been signed off on by or sponsored by an additional 17 Democrats as of last night. No Republicans are in support of this bill at this time. Politics aside, this is not about politics. I just want to talk to you practically. I'm a lawyer. I've got some experience with legislation, and I want to talk to you about how this would work. Now, for this to go into law, first it has to get through committee. Then it has to go to the floor of the House of Representatives, where it would have to be passed by a majority vote. Then it would have to go to the Senate, where it would have to be passed. And then typically what happens, there would be changes between the bill, between House of Representatives and Senate. They'd reconcile those changes. Then the final bill will go back to each house where they would vote on it again, assuming that they both approved the reconciled bill. It would go to the president, where the president would sign it into law. Basic idea. I think in its current form, this bill is very unlikely to pass. And I think it's for a number of reasons. It does provide additional benefits to a lot of Americans. However, it's got a huge price tag. And even though it seems like we're talking about monopoly money here, especially with the CARES Act that had a $2 trillion price tag. The cost of this bill over the course of 6 months would be roughly $2.6 trillion. And it's not doing anything for the businesses, which I think a lot of Republican members of Congress are going to want to see support and benefits for the business community as well, and to expand some of the programs that have already been enacted under the CARES Act. I think that this is a great idea. I don't think it is likely to be enacted into law in its current form. I do think it is possible that we might see some alternative of this. In other words, a lower cash payment, or if we reduce the number of people that would be eligible. At $130,000 per year, you're talking about people that earn less than that. That's roughly 90% of the American populace. So that's a significant portion of Americans would receive this payment. So with most people, it's going to be a very popular proposal. However, I just don't see it happening. But you have to weigh the cost of providing a stimulus like this against the cost to the healthcare system people decide, you know what, we can't wait any longer to go back to work. We have to go back to work. So they do. As a result, we have another huge outbreak of the coronavirus in the United States that just causes chaos in the healthcare system, really. I'll be honest, I don't know what the right answer is to all of this. I don't think any of us know what the right answer is to all of this. I don't think any of us know where this is going to go. I don't think any of us know what is going to happen. I think there's a lot of Americans that are really stressed and financially stressed because of what's going on and because of the fact that they can't go back to work. Is $2,000 a month to every American the right answer? I think we're moving in the right direction. There are other countries that have tried universal basic income in some fashion and have seen positive results from it. But I think there's also a lot of Americans that view that as a form of socialism, and they don't want to see uniform basic income become a fabric of our society. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll be back at you again tomorrow with another video talking about the state of the stimulus plan and what's going on in news and updates from whatever happens today. In the meantime, check out yesterday's video that talks about the state of the stimulus if you haven't already checked that, from April 16th, because honestly, not a lot changed overnight. That's it, gang. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe out there. We'll see you in the next video.